TYT is having some beef, man. Oh, yeah. Anna, whatever her name is, went off on Rashad, whatever his name is. All about the Karen bike situation. This is great. This is great, man, because I'm not a fan of either one. Who cares? Who cares about them? Let's laugh at them. Let's laugh at. Let's actually just laugh at him. I might have to edit that joke out. I'm gonna edit that joke out for the YouTube version.
I have the full background on this Karen. The Karenicity is unbelievable. Put up the picture. We got her name, where she works, her boss.
Disgusting.
I want to remind you of a couple of things that happened in this video. Obviously, it is telling, right? You know, she said, and I quote, "You are hurting my fetus, my unborn child." Did you all hear that part? She said that. Why did she say that? Because that bolsters her argument to do what she's attempting to do, which is theft under any other circumstance. We will call this attempted theft if the black male went up to the white female who paid for her opportunity to utilize the device and he decided to grab it and try to take it.
That's what happened.
That clearly attempted theft.
That's what happened.
Several days later.
The dominant online narrative was that this racist pregnant woman tried to steal a bike from a black man and then made herself out to be a victim with her white tears. Her attorney later provided receipts claiming that she, in fact, paid for the bike, but it felt like no one thought it might be a good idea to just wait and see what the truth was before attacking her. Her employer at Bellevue Hospital was immediately contacted. She was placed on leave pending an investigation. Now her attorney is looking to potentially sue media outlets that propagated false allegations about his client, but we still don't know the full story. And it's better to wait and see how this develops before people try to destroy a stranger's life and livelihood. So, do we feel better about racism in America today? It certainly feels like we're becoming more divided. The Karen narrative flattens an entire category of people, white women, as malignant members of society whose toxicity lay dormant until they're in the presence of people of color. It's ridiculous.
Babe, if they don't call their coworker out, I swear, bro. I swear your coworker is literally doing just that. They're doing that. What you're describing, perfect to a T. There's loud motorcycles outside my house. I don't know if y'all heard that. To a T. What you're describing, your coworker is doing. You're that media outlet. TYT is a bunch of clowns. Let's see if you have any form of integrity. Let's see. This might be because I'm coming in unbiased. So it might be, I might give Anna, whatever her name is, a little bit of credit. Let's see. Let's see what she got to say.
Uber has placed Bo Young Lee, its head of diversity, on leave after she moderated a couple of employee events that made the horrifying mistake of including the perspectives of white female employees. After several years of diversity, equity, and inclusion trainings, making it clear that the inclusion part is really meant to exclude the, participation of white women, some employees at Uber didn't take kindly to the sudden paradigm shift. Backlash from Uber workers who felt the topic was insensitive spooked the company's execs, who immediately decided to place Lee on leave. Now, the future of their longtime diversity, equity, and inclusion chief is uncertain. The New York Times writes that employees' concerns centered on a pair of events that were billed as diving into the spectrum of the American white woman's experience and hearing from white women who work at Uber with a focus on the Karen persona. They were intended to be an open and honest conversation about race, according to the invitation. Employees turned to the company's Slack to complain and expressed that they didn't like that some of their white colleagues saw Karen as a derogatory term. But as we all know, Karen absolutely is a derogatory term. Are we really going to pretend like it's not? Employees felt the event organizers were minimizing racism and the harm white people can inflict on people of color by focusing on how Karen is a hurtful word, according to messages and an employee who attended the events. Well, it's a derogatory term. That's why it's used in a derogatory sense after someone is perceived to have engaged in bad behavior. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. In the workplace, you shouldn't be calling your coworkers Karens. It's just not a good idea. And by the way, just let that sink in for a moment. Employees were openly angry that they couldn't use a derogatory word against some of their colleagues. This type of work environment is just fantastic. I mean, it's not hostile at all. Look, I gotta be honest, simply treating employees equally and providing a space for some to gently push back on the Karen narrative is nothing compared to the several years people have been consuming speeches like the one Dr. Aruna Kilanani gave at Yale in 2022.
I had fantasies of unloading a revolver into the head of any person that got in my way, scaring their body, and wiping my bloody hands as I walked away relatively guiltless. Like I did the world a favor.
Yeah. Okay, now that might seem like a bizarre, isolated incident. And to be honest, the rhetoric there is rare. I haven't heard rhetoric that extreme. But there is an entire industry where authors and academics make a killing conducting trainings that simply tell white workers to shut their mouths and take kindly to hours of being told they're all the same. They're all racist. They're all hateful. They all deserve what's coming to them. And it should come to no surprise that DEI trainings like this have led to lawsuits because they include, discrimination.
Damn, okay. So it seems like she has a clear stance on dumbass behavior. Yeah, all right. When it comes to the whole Karen thing, me personally, I think it's just a word. I call anybody a Karen. It doesn't matter what race they are, but there are a huge group of people, probably majority, that use that term. They're referring to a white woman. And if that's the case, that's crazy. I think that's wild. If I was to tell you what would be the black version of that, I'll probably get in trouble. And mind you, I'm black. And I don't feel like editing this out when I redo this for YouTube. So I'm not going to just use your imagination. In fact, if you ever seen this movie called, I think it's Clerks, and there was a employee that had a term about, something that happened to be on a porch. And sometimes you might catch this something at the zoo. You might catch him at the zoo. Maybe you know what I'm talking about. But that would be a comparison. Seems like there is a slight beef. I thought she was gonna say a name. Of course not. She's still Anna, whatever her name is. I refuse to learn her last name. I'm cool on that. Son. But yeah, because she ain't gonna say no name. She gonna do it in a real TYT manner, right? And she gonna take it real easy on the liberal side. That's what TYT does. This person is a problem. They coming out here wilding out. I remember I seen this one clip of them that I did think was funny because of their reaction. But when you actually think about the context, that was not funny. It was not funny at all. At all. But if you took a small clip of the reaction, that was funny. This person does that on a constant basis. And I think they use that tactic to confuse the heck out of people. What they're spreading is hate. Blatantly. Rashad, whatever his name is, all he does is spread hate towards a certain group of people, towards a certain race. Now, why is that not protected? I'm not trying to be, a snitch or cancel culture or anything, but is there not a clear bias towards one group of people? Seems like if you white, nobody cares, son. Like people could drag you metaphorically, and seem like social media is just fine with them. That's nasty to me. It should be equal. You either make sure both or all groups are protected, or you could just do what I prefer. Just eliminate all the rules and just let us wild out. Let us wild out. No strikes, no nothing. Let us go crazy in this piece. I'm talking Mad Max. Thunderdome up in this piece. What you talking about? You know about that? Yeah, I'm showing my age. Anyway, I don't think I was even born when that movie came out. But anyway, I digress. I think that TYT is a bunch of frauds. Tell me what you think down in the comment section. Hit the like button as well. Share the video. And if you're extra nasty, check me out on Patreon. I have dollar packages where you can get access to all my videos early. Yeah, especially the BX Beast Boy show. Go and check that out.